Hi, I'm Michael Barris. Welcome to How to Become a Super Speaker in Business, 7 Powerful Principles for Confident, Commanding Speaking. This presentation is based on my best-selling book, How to Become a Super Speaker, the 7 Principles for Speaking with Confidence and Connecting with Audiences. Does this description fit you? When you have to speak in meetings, presentations, or other business settings, whether online or face-to-face, do you dread the moment? Even a little bit? Do you feel terrified of looking ridiculous in front of others, your peers, management? When you speak, do you feel awkward, incompetent, or lost? Are you just not having a whole lot of fun? Well, if that's the case, take heart. Speaking anxiety is very common. It's said that about 80% of people manage to get through some sort of a speech, but not without going through those feelings of dread and fear. Then there's the 20% of the population who do suffer those classic symptoms of panic attacks and bouts of emotional paralysis that have given public speaking its mythic and fearsome reputation. And then there's 20% who are said to feel no fear at all. They love it. But to be honest, I've never met anybody quite like that. Have you? Okay. Public speaking can be intimidating. Here's the thing. Your career needs you to speak well. Modern business is increasingly driven by relationships. Nowadays, we find ourselves working in teams, not only across organizations, but possibly multiple countries, communicating with people from different cultures. So speaking with clarity and nuance is a must. It's no longer an option. That's one reason that Warren Buffett, the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, who is one of the world's most influential investors and who has amassed a personal fortune that has been estimated at $80 billion, has said that public speaking can boost one's career value by as much as 50%. 50%. Here's an example. If you were applying for a job as a Silicon Valley software designer, and all you could offer would be technical skills, you might get a job where you'd start at between $40,000 and $80,000 a year. But if you can also speak to clients, well, then you could be earning a salary of as much as $120,000 a year and even more. What's more, in this age of increasingly usage of mobile video, speaking skills are a great asset. When companies began embracing video conferencing applications because of the coronavirus pandemic, it was clear that strong speakers who had expressive voices and good eye contact would stand out from the crowd. Conversely, the intimacy of the video conferencing application tended to diminish weaker speakers. That's something to think about for one's career longevity nowadays. So here are the 7 principles for super speaking. Number 1, make delivery the priority. 2, put on a show. 3, display personality. 4, feel the fear, but keep practicing and keep speaking. 5, give the audience a reason to care about this talk. 6, reveal what's inside you. 7, make things easy to follow. Now, let me address a question that may be forming in your mind. Why should you listen to me? Well, I'm a transformational coach and a best-selling author. I based my principles for super speaking on an informed understanding of the behavior of audiences. That's something that's done too infrequently in speaking training courses, which baffles me because speeches of all kinds start and end with reaching an audience. I learned what makes audiences tick as a musician, a journalist, a university speaking instructor, and a speaking champion. I'm confident I can help you improve your speaking ability. Let's meet some of my success stories. Here's Shelby, a proposal writer for a software firm. Shelby's written, Michael expertly pinpointed the areas I needed to improve in. I'd recommend him as a coach to anyone looking to improve their public speaking skills. Then there's Dr. Wong, who's a holistic medicine practitioner. Dr. Wong writes, as a non-native English-speaking professional, speaking has always been a challenge. My technique and delivery leap with Michael coaching me. And then there's Michelle, an artisan and entrepreneur. And Michelle has written, Mike is a terrific public speaking coach. He helped me organize and prepare for an investor presentation. I'd recommend his services to anyone. Thank you. So let's get on with the 7 principles of super speaking. Number 1, make delivery the priority. We live in an age of content. It's easy today to fill reports and presentations with just about any kind of information you want. But some things never change. And that's that if you have a lifeless delivery, your content has a very good chance of going unheard. You need to be able to arouse the listener emotionally. You need to grab them before they can make up their minds about you. And some people say you only have 7 seconds to do that. So try this. Boost your energy by practicing at a high speed. Try speaking twice as fast as you normally would. Then when you go back to the normal speed, try to keep the memory of the energy you created as you spoke faster in the normal paced presentation. Also, if you tend to be soft-spoken, practice speaking in a loud voice. Get somebody to tell you when your volume falls off. Finally, be sure to stand or sit straight, depending on what you're doing, because it boosts and projects confidence, and that's gold for anybody who's speaking. Principle number 2, put on a show. It amazes me that speakers often don't realize that whenever they're speaking, no matter where it is, they're a performer. The speaking area is a stage, and the people watching you are an audience. And audiences expect performers on stages to put on shows. It's just the way we're wired. So try to arrange the elements of your talk to arouse the audience emotionally. That's the basis of a show. Most of all, don't be one of those people who read their presentation notes aloud without making any contact or varying their tone of voice or volume. You're going to end up torturing the audience. Try this. Here's how to turn your presentations into performances. First of all, remember that this group of people are expecting to be entertained. Use analogies, storytelling, humor, anything that works to add elements of show as long as it fits the purpose and the tone of the talk. And use everyday language. Try to minimize the use of industry jargon, even when it's needed. Use facial expressions and hand gestures to make your oral reports more dramatic, more personal, and more emotional. Principle number 3 is display personality. It's a fact of life that audiences are deeply affected and mesmerized by the revelation of personality on stage. If you've ever gone to a conference where there's multiple speakers, you may find that the speakers who reveal their enthusiasms, preferences, and quirks tend to stand out and be remembered. In the end, the quirkier speaker can be the one who makes the biggest impact, even more so than the so-called polished speakers who behave correctly on stage. So try this. Make your personality traits work for you. Here's a little exercise that will allow your personality to emerge. First, write a speech out in full sentences. Then record yourself reading it into your phone or computer video app. Pay attention to the result. Then, from each sentence of text that you created, pick out 2 or 3 keywords that arouse you emotionally. Then, record yourself speaking just to the keywords. Then, compare the 2 recordings. You should see a personality emerging in the second one because now you're speaking more spontaneously, bringing fresh language to the bear. Keep practicing with keywords until you know them by heart. Principle number 4 is feel the fear, but keep practicing and speaking. Here's a fact. You can't banish fear. It's an innate response to a stressful stimulus. Fear is necessary for human survival. In fact, you need the surge of energy you get from that fight or flight response to do your best work when you're speaking. But here's the good news. You can manage fear, even as you keep practicing. Here's how to train yourself to disregard the worrying. Try to find a phrase you can invoke that'll calm you when you start fretting about what others are thinking about you. Instead of saying, oh gosh, they're going to think I'm ridiculous, just think, I seek to excel, not to compete or to compare myself with others. And then create keywords, as we've discussed, that'll arouse your emotions and let you speak more easily and more naturally as you're rehearsing and as you're performing. Here's a little tip. Don't ask your family or friends for feedback on your speech. Why? Because they may lie. They don't want to hurt your feelings, and that's not helping you any. The fifth principle of super speaking is give the audience a reason to care about the talk. Now, for every member of an audience, there is a burning question. It's why should I care about this? So as a speaker, you need to give the audience a reason to take an interest in what you're talking about. And here's one way to do it, and a way that's not done nearly enough. Include contextual details that show why a talk matters. It's presumptuous to assume that a crowd knows everything you're talking about and you don't need to explain things. Remember, as the speaker, they're looking to you to show them what's worth knowing. Don't let them down. Try this. Be like Steve Jobs when he revealed the iPod. When Jobs, the CEO of iPod, introduced the iPod music player, he said this: it'll hold 1,000 songs, equal to a personal music library. Now that was a major achievement at the time. But what created a wow moment for the public was Jobs stressing that the device could fit right in the owner's pocket. So people could exclaim, you mean I can fit 1,000 songs, my entire music library, right in my pocket? Wow! Principle number 6 is reveal what's inside you. Audiences will bond with you if you let them catch you in the act of expressing emotion. Here's what we mean by letting them catch you. That joy, sadness, or whatever you express has to be real. It has to be so real that's impossible for you to keep it from escaping as you speak. And when you expose your delight or your despair to an audience, that's part of being that show person we said you had to be to make an impact. So try this. Look for ways to get excited about your material. The more your material excites you, the more exciting you'll be to listen to. So to make a really big impression on your audience, try to steer toward topics or aspects of your work that resonate deeply with you. As you're preparing a talk, a report, or analysis, scour the material for the details that will bring out your emotions. Here's an example of the power of revealing emotions. There was a project manager who gave a very emotional eyewitness account of the poverty-stricken neighborhood she'd seen around her British employer's African plant. Her presentation was so moving that it sparked the company's leaders to look at the firm's social responsibility program in the plant area, and they made changes. Principle number 7 is keep things easy to follow. Now, audiences for talks are at a disadvantage compared with consumers of movies, books, or recorded music and TV programs. They can't play something back if they miss it. If it goes by, it's gone. So they'll tune you out if they're struggling to follow your narrative. And that proves that content is really only as good as it is easy to comprehend. so you have to help them. Seek a seamless design. Try lining up your keywords in your talk from start to finish to replicate a storyline. And keep adjusting and changing those keywords until you get a clear, logical, easily flowing narrative. Be sure to flag any changes of logic or content or tone with transition phrases or words like meanwhile, however, or by the end of the next quarter, and so on. Well, congratulations, you did it. You've taken your first step towards stronger speaking by completing this masterclass. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I want to help you keep growing. Let me give you a basic plan for better speaking. It'll be tailored to your work and your career needs in a free strategy session. I can help you steer out of your comfort zone, which is the biggest challenge, and engage more directly with the challenges you're going to face in becoming a stronger speaker. Email me, michael@michaelbarris.com, or text or call me at 732-319-1206. It's time to become the speaker you can be. Just imagine, not long from now, you could be freed of having to struggle with your confidence as a speaker. You could be comfortable speaking in any business setting, and you could be getting the promotions and the better paying jobs you desire and deserve. But look, to get results, you've got to do something different. You can't keep sliding along the same way, or else you just keep getting the same thing you've always got. So let me help you with your journey. Contact me at michael@michaelbarris.com or 732-319-1206. Schedule your free strategy session to get your basic plan. This is the right time. It's time to break free of those limiting old ways. You've got to discover the new strategies and the techniques that can lead you to the speaking and career success you've been dreaming of. As we said, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. I'm looking forward to our call. Remember, the only limitation is the one you set up in your own mind. Achieve your dreams with speaking power. You can do it. Thank you.